Hi gentlemen, this is page number 78. The question: how does the APFBC module design work? The process flow diagram for the APFBC shown in figure. Coal is fed to the carbonizer either as a paste or in dry form. Sorbent is pneumatically introduced to the carbonizer dry. The fuel gas from the carbonizer is freed from particulates and alkali in a cyclone, ceramic filter and alkali getter. The char produced in the carbonizer is conveyed to the PCFB that also receives solids collected in the carbonizer cyclone and ceramic filter. The char sorbent mixture burns in the PCFB combustor and the resulting flue gas is cleaned of particulates and alkali in a ceramic filter and alkali getter. The cleaned carbonized fuel gas is burned in the topping combustor, utilizing the cleaned PCFB flue gas, vitiated air, as the oxidant. The the hot topping combustor exhaust under pressure is allowed to expand in the gas turbine, driving the air compressor and generator. The ash from PCFB is cooled, depressurized, and pneumatically transported to a silo. The unit burns Illinois 6 coal. Longview limestone is used as sorbent, while Eagle but subbituminous coal is used as an alternative fuel. The APCFB module is designed for dry coal feed about 0.69 kg per second and a sorbent feed of about 0.13 kg per second. In this diagram, we can see the APFBC system. And here in the left diagram, we can see the carbonizer, uh, air, coal, and sorbent is inlet to the carbonizer, and hot flue gas is goes to gas cleanup, then topping combustor, then gas turbine. So char is goes to PCFP, air is inletted, and then it goes to cyclone, then it goes to gas cleanup, then it goes to topping combustor, then it goes to gas turbine. After that, the steam from FBHE is goes to the steam turbine, and air from the air compressor air is goes to the systems to FBHE and PCFB and carbonizer. From the gas turbine, in the right side of the diagram, it goes to HRSG, then boiler feed water pump, and the flue gas, remaining flue gas is goes to stock and vent. So the next question: what are the basic design features for of the carbonizer? Answer: the carbonizer is a fluidized spouting bed void of any heat transfer surface. The carbonizer is a vertical refractory lined vessel 14.6 meter height with a 914 mm dia ID bed section lower part and a 1219 mm dia ID disengagement section upper part. So lower part is bed section, upper part is disengagement section. Operating pressure 1.21 megapascal ABS. Operating temperature absolute. Operating temperature is 1200 degree Kelvin. Bed temperature is controlled by air to coal ratio. The coal paste and limestone sorbent enter the carbonizer actually through the bottom. The vessel is provided with extra nozzles to permit alternately feeding coal and limestone radially at varied in-bed and above-bed evolutions. Provision has also been made in the design of charge coal pneumatically. With the design sorbent, Longview limestone, a calcium sulfur molar ratio of 2 has been chosen to ensure 95% sulfur removal from the design coal. A 5-second bed residence time has been selected to achieve the maximum sulfur capture in the carbonizer. Of course, the free board disengagement section further increases the residence time in the carbonizer. In this diagram, we can see the APFBC system process flow diagram. We can see this diagram next video. So next question, what are the major operating parameters control these functions? Uh, the question before that, the question is what are the main functions of the PCFB combustor? Three main functions are char combustion, conversion of CAS in the char to CaSO4, 95% sulfur removal, and reducing NOx emission through staged combustion. The next question, what are the major operating parameters controlling these functions? Answer, residence time. A 9-second residence time has been selected to accomplish high carbon conversion. CAS gives CaSO4 conversion and sulfur capture 95% plus percentage. The next, bed temperature. Based on the PBFP technology to drive a high bed to in-bed surface heat transfer coefficients, bed temperature is restricted to 1145 degree Kelvin. Of course, a higher bed temperature could be selected to improve carbon conversion, but it would give rise to higher alkali release, increasing the potential of bed agglomeration and corrosion of downstream components. Third one is calcium sulfur mole ratio. A calcium sulfur mole ratio of 2 is selected to attain 95 plus percentage sulfur capture with Illinois 6 coal and Longview limestone. Fourth one is bed stoichiometry. Of course, the combustion process is tagged. The objective to control NOx formation. The lower part of the combustor operates in a reducing mode with approximately 70% stoichiometry. The upper portion operates in an oxidizing mode. The next question, what are the basic design features of the PCFB combustor? The PCFB shown in figure is a refractory land vessel having the following dimensions. Overall height 34.6 meter, ID of upper section is 838 mm. The vessel is lined with a double layer refractory, a 101 mm a light castable refractory inner layer and 122 mm hard face refractory outer layer for erosion resistance. Primary air is fed into the combustor from the plenum through the grid floor, which supports air inlet nozzles to distribute the airflow evenly across the grid cross section for optimum mixing in the combustor. Ports for secondary air inlet are also provided above the grid floor at four different elevations. The hot flue gas exists at the top of the vessel. The next question, what is HTGC, high temperature gas cleaning? How does it function? It consists of three cleaning stages in series: cyclone, particulate control device, alkali removal system to control particulate and alkalis. The cyclone removes the bulk of the relatively coarse particles. The PCD that follows ensures the final degree of particle removal. The last stage, alkali removal, capture sodium and potassium vapor phase pieces. So the next question, the question, for what purpose of HTGC installed? Answer, the HTGC system are designed and installed to achieve sufficient levels of particle and alkali removal of safeguard the gas turbine blades from erosion, deposition and corrosion damage as well as to satisfy plant emission standards. Question, what are the performance requirements of the HDGC system? Answer, HDGC system are provided to perform the following duties: reduce outlet particulates, loadings less than 20 ppm with no more than 1% Wt percentage particles exceeding zero point 0 mm 10 micrometer and no more than 10 percentage of exceeding 0.005 mm. Control alkali content total Na plus Kv vapor and to less than 50 ppm. Limit the maximum pressure drop across each HTGC train to 68.9 kilopascal. Limit the temperature drop to less than 56 degree Kelvin across the carbonizer HDGC train and to less than 6 degree Kelvin across the PCFP train. The question: what are alkali removal system and how do they operate? Answer: these are simply packed beds of emethyl pellets contained in vertical refractory lined pressure vessel. The emethyl is a clay material that reacts irreversibly with sodium and potassium web phase compounds at high temperature. Nozzles are provided for gas inlet and outlet at the top and bottom of the vessel respectively, as well as for pellet loading and unloading. Although the expected alkali content in the hot flue gas is lower than the turbine tolerance, an alkali jetter is installed in the hot flue gas system as a safety measure. Thank you.